Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and he's dressed up because today is the royal wedding. There's this little bow tie. And we are very excited because the royal wedding does include some Corgi fun that we'd love to share with you today. So the wedding is over. They are officially married. And it was lovely, and many people were up early having a special tea and breakfast to commemorate the royal wedding, and Tristan was no exception. He was up with his mom at 5:30 so that we wouldn't miss a minute, and we luckily found the station that had no commercials, so that was very exciting. And we were waving on with our British flags we downloaded from the internet last night. And of course, the Corgis are very excited about this wedding because, as Tristan is happy to let you know, Meghan Markle is Corgi approved. When she went to the castle to meet the Queen, the two Corgis that were there before this last one died actually went over and sat on her feet. And Harry was gobsmacked, as they say, because the Corgis had done nothing but bark and nip at people in the past, and they just took a shine to her instantly. So, of course, we have a 4 paws up for Markle and her Corgi whispering skills. And then, of course, if you saw the internet this week, you couldn't have missed the picture of the Queen riding in the car with Meghan's beagle, which is also another tip to the Queen's great love of dogs and animals, and also respect for Meghan to be taking care of her beagle in a little traverse across town. And I don't know, I think that beagle may be having dinner with the 2 royal Corgi dachshunds and the last remaining Corgi that came from one of the groundskeepers. So that was also an exciting bit of news for us Corgi lovers, and Tristan and I have spent a little while this morning reposting on Instagram and Facebook pictures of him and his girlfriend Dory wearing a crown to commemorate the royal wedding, and we will post more pictures from that later today. So we are very excited to be celebrating with tea. And one of the important things I know about the Queen is that she enjoys a cup of Twinings Earl Grey every afternoon at tea time, which in fact has been something I have historically done for probably 25 years myself. So, and often I have a Corgi at my afternoon tea, and I'm sure the Queen, as much as she can, has a Corgi at her afternoon tea. And in fact, when I was going through some transitions in my life and things were difficult and challenging, I had a neighbor with a Corgi, and I had my 2 Corgis, and I would invite that Corgi over, and we'd have Corgi tea in the backyard on a swing in a very pleasant part of my old yard, and having the Corgis over for tea and biscuits, of course, theirs and mine. Always put a new spin on a day to make it a lot better, and to this day that is true. I always count myself lucky when I have a Corgi at my afternoon tea, and I hope I always do, right, Tristan? We need more Corgis for tea. And of course the Corgis can't have tea, but they certainly get their biscuits at tea. So the wedding was lovely. Everyone got to see the dress finally. There was lots of singing, and Meghan's mother, of course, looked lovely in her mint green dress, and the Queen in her bright lime green and with a bit of purple outfit, and all of it's going to be rebroadcast at 10 Eastern time this morning on NBC if you missed it because you live on the West Coast and you didn't want to be up in the middle of the night. And they are off to their luncheon now, where they are serving a variety of British foods as hors d'oeuvres. It's a stand-up, it's not sitting down. And I believe we were thinking of doing that when I got married once, but we didn't end up doing that, thankfully. It was hard enough to get food as it was. So we are very happy today wearing our Corgi dress to celebrate England and Corgis and the happiness of Meghan and Harry and their wedding. So we are, oh look, somebody on Instagram just said Tristan and Dory's picture is adorbs. How cute is that? And that's also posted on Facebook. So we don't have a lot to say because we've been watching the wedding and we've been up since 5. And Tristan, do you have anything to say particularly about the Corgis and the wedding? Uh-oh. He just hit the phone and it knocked it right down so you can't see us there. Do Do you have anything to say about the corgis in the wedding? Oh, not enough corgis in the wedding, you say? Probably not. Oh, the phone has gone awry. Tristan, hang on. There we go. We're back. Tristan's sitting on the sound cord, which then drops the phone down, and then you can't see us. So you said there's not enough corgis in the wedding? Yeah, the queen didn't have a long skirt, so we don't think she snuck a couple of corgis in. Maybe Princess Anne. If anyone was sneaking in a corgi, it would be Princess Anne, although she does prefer the dachshund mixes. Anything else to say about the corgis? Oh, there might have been one in the carriage. You couldn't quite see. It was very deep in the carriage. And those horses were working so hard, weren't they, to pull that carriage so far. Yeah. And were there any corgis in the audience? Did you see any watching? No, not a one. You know, they are a short dog. It's hard to see them in the crowd. Your hat's coming off, sir. You won't be invited back to tea if your hat gets improper. He says, oh, Mom. Well, we're tangled up in the sound cord again. Thanks for joining us today for this special royal wedding edition of Conversations with a Corgi. We'll be back tomorrow where we will be continuing our discussion about some things that are less pleasant, which is the flea situation. So, thanks for joining us today. And I don't know what's going on for the Corgi music at the beginning. It keeps going off and then coming back on when I start talking. We haven't figured out what the problem is. It does it pretty consistently at the start of the shows, but not at the end. We're working on that. My technical difficulties guy is still unavailable, so it's going to be a little bit. All right, thanks for joining us. Oh, my Corgi, he's falling again. We're having technical difficulties of another kind. Corgi dropping. That's not allowed. And we're having sound cord problems in a major way. Now we'll just be crooked. What's your favorite food at the luncheon? Are you looking forward to the salmon? Maybe the lamb croquettes? You don't like lamb? Salmon? Okay. We might be able to have some salmon for your lunch. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody have a great day. Everybody I know that has a corgi certainly is celebrating the royal wedding. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30. Everybody have a great day.